viewfinder, image.
Hi guys, I just wanted to do this video for you. This is the third time I tried to do it. The last couple of times I've gotten interrupted doing it, so hopefully this time I will not. But let's see. So today, as you guys can tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about both Uber and Lyft. Now, for those of you that don't know, they are two cab companies, and basically you call for, you reserve a ride with your smartphone, and then if the money gets deducted from your credit or debit card, or if you have PayPal, you can set it up with that. And let's see, so I'm going to be telling you about my experiences with these things, and I'm also going to be going by, I've only used Uber up until today. Today I decided to try Lyft. Now the thing with that is, okay, so basically what happened was I had mobility today, and I totally forgot that I have mobility. I totally forgot, and I didn't remember. I only realized it last night, so obviously I couldn't call Access Link, so I was like, alright, I'm just going to take a cab. And I also thought about it, and I figured because I go to this place in New Jersey, it's a training center, and it's basically, they treat people like they're in jail. You can't go anywhere, you have to just sit in the lobby. You can't, like, wouldn't be able to go get something to eat, or go walk around or whatever. I mean, I could walk around outside of that place, but I don't really, I'm not really aware of the area around me enough. I don't really know it very well enough to do that. Because, yeah, I always could, just do that. But I just think it would be, a little bit too much. So, and the thing with Access Link is, because that's paratransit, and it's very unpredictable. So it could have me going there, this time that could have me there in, 2 hours before my lesson. And I don't want to be there, an hour or two before my lesson, because I just have to sit in the lobby. So I figured for something like this, Uber or Lyft would be more ideal. So I actually went on Facebook, and I actually wrote something about how I forgot about mobility, and someone recommended I use Lyft, and they said, oh, I can send you a code and you can ride for free, but they never did. So yeah, I couldn't ride for free. So my friend of mine, my other friend was like, well, use Uber because it's better, better cars, better, the company's better and all that. But I said, I'm just going to give it a try, see which one I like better. Because not only did I just try it because someone recommended it, but I also tried it because, say for example, there's no Uber cars running and I need a ride. Then I can just use Lyft. So I decided to try it. So basically, I did that, and I am actually, the thing is, I wasn't really disappointed, but I guess there are things that I like about Uber that make me like Uber better, and then there are things about Lyft that make me like Lyft better. So I'm basically going to go by my experiences with Uber in the past and my experience with Lyft today. Because I only used Lyft once today, so I can only go by one experience. So, okay, so with Uber and Lyft. So Uber is cheaper than Lyft. Okay, so Uber would cost me like $15-$20 to go from my house to this center, which is 20-25 minutes away. And to get to the center today, it cost me $30. $33 one way and $30 to come home. So, and then plus tip. So in total, I spent $67 on Lyft. Whereas if this was, the Uber, I would have probably spent $30-something. or maybe for at most like $50 probably. Now, I think that's a little ridiculous. It's really ridiculous because Uber is supposed to be like cheaper, but yeah, Lyft is definitely more expensive than Uber. Yeah, so Uber is cheaper. So that's one pro about Uber is it's cheaper, and the con about Lyft is it's more expensive than Uber. But then again, that's probably how much I'd be paying if like I was taking a regular cab, but still, I mean, that's a little much. So, yeah. And another thing I like about Lyft that Uber doesn't have is that you can leave a tip right from the app. So you could choose like a $2 tip, a $3 tip, whatever. I think it's a $1, $2, or $5 tip by default you can choose from. And there's an option for other, like if you want to leave like a $10 tip, maybe a $4 tip, something like that. So you can tip them right from the app, and it will just automatically, get credited to your account. So it'll just automatically come off of your card or whatever you're using. So that's the one thing I like about it, because you can't do that with Uber. With Uber, you can tip, but you have to pay cash. Because yes, they do take cash for tips. So you can't just tip them right from the app, which that's the one thing I do like about Lyft. Now, another thing that I like about Lyft is that it plays a sound when you have a trip. Like, it's not the push notification sound. It's like its own sound that you hear. It's like its own little sound that it has. So when you hit request Lyft and you wait a few seconds, and then when you have a ride, it'll play a sound, and it'll tell you, okay, arrives in 5 minutes. So, yeah. Now, the one thing that Uber does that Lyft doesn't do is that when you get a trip, Uber will tell you, like, okay, the driver's name is Anthony. He's, it's 5 stars. The vehicle is a Dodge Dark, for example. The license plate number is whatever. Now, Uber will tell you all of that when you request the trip. And it'll tell you the driver's ETA. Well, Lyft does that too, but Lyft doesn't do that. Like, Lyft doesn't tell you, like, when you request your trip and it comes back and it tells you your trip, like, what all your trip information, like, about the driver, his name, the van. It doesn't tell you, like, what kind of car the driver's in. It doesn't tell you the license plate number. It doesn't tell you, well, yes, it does tell you the stars. So, like, for example, it'll say Anthony for 4.8 stars, for example. So that's one thing that I like about it. That's the one thing I don't like about Lyft is that, because, like, for example, when it comes, you get a notification, and it also, at the same time, you get a text. And that's another thing I'm going to go into in a second. But you get a notification letting you know that the ride is there. So it'll say, like, okay, your driver's here. And you'll see it, like, at the top of the app. In Lyft, you'll see it. It'll say, okay, your driver's here. And then you get a text, and it'll say, okay, Anthony's here. He's in a, Dodge Dark. For example, it'll say, like, okay, so look for a Dodge Dark and look for Anthony. So, well, it won't say look for Anthony, but it'll say to look for a Dodge Dark, for example. So, yeah, it'll tell you what car the driver's in once it gets there. Because the thing that I like about Uber telling you, like, what vehicle, about you knowing what vehicle the driver is going to be in ahead of time, it makes it easier, because if, like, say, like, I'm blind, but if, say, I'm with someone who's sighted, I could tell them, okay, Anthony's going to be in a such and such car, so be looking out for that car. Whereas, like, with Lyft, you have no idea. So you have no idea what kind of car the driver's going to be in until they get to you. So that's another thing that I like about Lyft, or I like about Uber, is, like, how what car you're going to be in ahead of time. Let's see. Now, I like how now with Uber and Lyft, now I had a problem where I was lost. So the driver was really lost, and I was like, okay, this is my development, and I don't want to say where I live for, creepers, but this is my development. I'm going to just make it up. Okay, so my address is, because I don't want to say my real address out on YouTube. So my address is 315 Apple Street. And the driver was like really lost, and she's like, okay, I can't find Apple Street. Where is it? I can't find it. And she was like because I lived in Old Bridge. For a little bit, I was living in a town where they, I was living like a block away from where I'm living now. I had moved. And the driver was like over there, and she said, I can't find your development. I mean, she wasn't going to leave me, but she just like, you could tell she was like getting frustrated. She was really lost. And yeah, you could tell that she was getting lost. Like, she was really lost, and she was like really frustrated, and she was like, I can't find your development. I'm all the way by, such and such street. I'm nowhere near it. I don't know where it is. So, yeah. So the driver was like really, like, and then so eventually she asked someone where to go, but the thing is, she wasn't willing to like keep driving to find it. She wasn't willing to like figure it out. She wasn't looking hard enough. She was just like, oh, okay, is there anyone I can call? Is there anyone at home that you could ask to, come outside or whatever? And I was like, no, I didn't know what to do. So the driver asked someone who gave her directions, and she found it eventually. But like that leads into my next topic, is that with Uber, the driver has like on their app, it tells them exactly where to go. And with Lyft, it doesn't do that. It just like it I mean, I don't know if it like, I'm sure they know, but like it doesn't. With Uber, the app tells them exactly where to go. And it's on their GPS. And I don't know if the driver was using the GPS on the phone or the car's GPS. I think she was using the car's GPS, the GPS on the phone, because there was I didn't hear any, like anything coming out of the car speakers or anything like that. So she was using the GPS on her phone, I think. But I'm not sure. But like, that's another thing that I like better with Uber, is that the drivers know like exactly where to go. Now, also with Uber has Lyft is actually better accessibility wise. Because, with other blind people that use voiceover, Uber is better accessibility wise. It has more. Yo, Ma, I just broke my closet door. It's like, because like on the top of the app, there's a menu. Like with Lyft, there's a menu, and you can access like all of your profile, your ride history, your payment. Like if you want to add a payment, like add a card or whatever, you can access all of that. mean, with Uber you can too, but it's a little bit more tricky, but it is doable. But like apps, but like Lyft is better accessibility wise. But that's the thing, you can't you can't have it all, you know, you can't win both ways. So like for example, with Uber there used to be this thing, an option to contact the driver. So like if there was like, if you got a notification saying, you know, your driver's Anthony, like there was a way that I could contact Anthony. It's funny, I really did have a driver named Anthony today on Lyft, and on Lyft there's an option to contact the driver and it works. So yeah, Lyft is better accessibility wise, like with accessibility, and also it's like I said before, it's cheaper. You know, it's definitely, Uber's definitely cheaper than Lyft. So I do like, I'm not really sure which one I like better, because the thing is, like I said, they have their pros and cons, you know. I mean, I really do like how you can tip right from the app, but I don't like how you don't know which car you're going to be in. I don't like how it's more expensive, but I do like how it's more accessible. So yeah, they do have their pros and cons, and I'm probably going to be sticking with Uber only because it's cheaper. You know, it's rated more, the company is better, like better cars and stuff. The drivers, like, you know, don't really get lost as much. So I'm probably going to stick with Uber, but Lyft will be like a backup. So like if I'm like, okay, like if Uber's not available and I need a ride, I'll check to see if a Lyft is available. So yeah. So let's see. I think I hit all the bases with Uber and Lyft, comparing the two. You know, we talked about pricing, accessibility, the like know how much about the driver, you know. You know, it's still the same thing. You still rate your driver when you get home. You know, you still do that. And also, a thing I like is that when you, as far as rating the driver goes, you have like with Uber, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. So you select however many stars you want, and then you have like, you know, you can leave comments. And then let's see, with Lyft, what you do is like a menu. I don't know how it's like a picker item, and like for people like us who use voiceover, you take one finger and you just like swipe up and down on the screen. I don't know how a sighted person would do that, but it's like called like a picker item menu, where you pick, and it'll say like, okay, 5 stars, you know, the trip was awesome. 4 stars, my trip was okay. You know, 3 stars, you know, could be improved or something. I forget what the 3rd star is. 2 stars, it's disappointing. Then 1 star, mean you want to flag the driver, you want to report them. And if you rate it like, I mean, I like how it tells you like what the rating is, because sometimes I have like a hard time knowing like, okay, if the driver does this, something like this, what should I rate them? So I like how it does that, and I like how, like, for example, like today for the driver, when she got really lost, I did not give her 5 stars. I mean, I know it's not really her responsibility to, you know, help me or anything, but she didn't. She just, all she had to do was just drive me to my house. And I gave her 2 stars, which was disappointing. So I wasn't going to give her 1 star, and I don't think that's necessary. I don't need to report her for anything. And then it said in the comments, like when you comment, it said, okay, what can they improve on? How can this driver improve? So I said, just look a little bit harder for the addresses next time. And the comments are anonymous, so the driver won't see who wrote it. But like the thing is, based on what I wrote, she'll probably figure it out. And she'll know, like, oh yeah, I had her last time and I couldn't find her address. So yeah, that's another thing that's. So like how it says how this is, like how it's set up with the rating of the drivers. So yeah. So that's basically, I think I covered all the bases with comparing the both companies. Let's see. I talked about pricing, rating drivers, the car quality, the notifications, the accessibility. I think I covered it all. The tipping, all that. So, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And, thank you for watching. And if you would like to follow me on Twitter, you can either follow me at the AppleGirl22 or the underline AppleGirl22. It doesn't matter which one. Or if you want to follow both, that's great. And I will see you guys in my next video.